I've got shorthand and
I
spelling.
Up on the board table?
Yep.
Oh,
Starting with your video.
nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Ooh.
Freshly squeezed.
You haven't started yet? Very good. Interruption. Mike, can you reach over, John, and grab my radio? It's right there.
Oh, yeah.
in the front.
We had some fun with
Yes. Have that problem.
She's gonna restart it.
Yeah. I don't know how we work this.
Oh my gosh.
It will let.
Okay, all right. Really nice job.
Isn't that like the TV show? Yeah. We should totally join. Yes, we should. Hey, Ben, Ahryona, do you guys want to be in our team? Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
That was good.
Okay, so our guidelines for this is our locations for one, and then we start at Headwaters Park. It's $25 per person, and it's for ages 10 and up, but groups of 4, one person has to be at least 18 or older, and you have to be there at 8 for registration, and we have a warm-up session that we're going to have before.
So this right here is our map route. All these places are marked with letters, and that's our map key right there. And they're all laid out how the race is going to go.
We have different modes of transportation: walking, bikes, bus, and all transportation. The bikes will be courtesy of Hawaiian Outfitters. Now the location we picked will change, so it might be one location maybe walking, not bus, and a car, or a truck.
Our first place is Headwaters Park because it has a large amount of history on Fort Wayne, and it was there to create to control the floods in Fort Wayne. Our physical test is that each team will have to run towards the fountain, and there will be coins with plastic bags attached, and they will have a clue. Our mental test is that each team will run towards the St. Mary's, and they will have to do a puzzle with all 3 rivers, and the picture will show their next clue.
The Canal House was a historical place used for transporting goods and cargo. The physical task we picked for this was teams would have a cart, put bricks in the cart as cargo, and go down where the canal used to be located at. And for the mental task, they will calculate and use equations for some sea flood levels for Fort Wayne.
So when you're traveling downtown, you cannot miss the colorful lights of the MLK Bridge. And it was confirmed by Jaycianna Sr. that it was the very first bridge dedicated to MLK himself. And it has some pretty awesome features, such as the LED lights. So for the physical detour, each team will put on a harness and bungee jump off the bridge. And for the mental task, they will go to the stone plaques, and there will be a word like marked on there, and then they have to use those words to make a sentence.
The amphitheater was a very, very fond location for musical and theatrical in the 1920s and still is today. Now it's a roadblock. We have, for our roadblock is one person will find out and name all the names of the picture down in the MC basement.
The next place is the Parkview Field, the Tin Cup Stadium. It's somewhere where you can go to watch many baseball games for low prices, and they hold child events for low prices. The detours is that each team member will have to meet a Tin Caps player, and they will have to, one of the baseball players will pitch a ball, and then you have to hit the ball and run the bases. And then the mental task is that each team will have to dress the mannequin according to what the Tin Caps player showed them from the back.
So who hasn't gone to the most famous wiener stand in Fort Wayne? Coney Island. It's been open since 1914, and so that means it's over 100 years old, which is pretty cool. And you cannot miss the delicious Coney dogs. So for the roadblock, one person from each team will have to eat 10 Coney dogs in a certain amount of time.
Our next location is the St. Joseph River. I chose the St. Joseph River because it was one of the transportation ways George Washington used when he was alive. And our physical task for the St. Joseph River is you're going to ride a bike down the River Greenway, and you're going to be picking up signs along the way to your next clue. And our mental task is we're going to have tables set up with cards of dates and events of what happened, and you're going to put them. Next is the Sport One Field House. It's very entertaining and has a lot of sports that you can play or watch. Our physical task is 2 teams will play against each other in a game of volleyball, and you have to get 6 points in order to win. And our mental task will be shown how to set up a volleyball net, and then you have to recreate it. Our next place is the Glenbrook Square Mall. That's where a lot of people hang out mainly, and you can go and hang out with your friends and family there on weekends. Our physical task is each team will have a relay race on the new stuffed animals inside the mall. And then our mental task is you'll go through the stores in the mall and collect clues to your next place.
The Coliseum is a very fun place to go. Who doesn't like Toy Story and ice or anything like that, right? Like football, like hockey games, ice skating, a lot of things like that. Now, for the mental task and physical task for this location will be physical is a figure 8 on the ice rink, and for the mental task is a quiz on the Coliseum itself and the airplane outside the building.
So one of the main reasons that tourists come to Fort Wayne is for the children's zoo. And it first started out as a nature preserve in Frankie Park, but since it became so popular, they decided to make a whole zoo. And it has received numerous awards from TripAdvisor, Indiana, Parents Magazine. So for the physical task, they'll go inside the Indiana Farm exhibit. They have to wash an animal there. And for the mental task, they'll go inside the gift shop, and then they'll have to find 3 specific items that will show them their next clue.
The next place we got is Fox Island. It is amazing, and it's a peaceful place where you can enjoy time with your family and friends. You can also go on long hikes and look for animals on trails. Our physical test is that we're going to do a scavenger hunt along the trails, and then our mental test is that each team will have to come up with supplies to make a fire, and then they will have to build a fire.
So these were some sponsors that we contacted. Roller Dome North, they're on board with sponsoring us, and then the banks like Wells Fargo, Three Rivers Credit Union, PNC Bank, they said that we had to go through some paperwork before to see if they would be able to sponsor us, and the rest they did not want to, probably because this is only a project not going to happen or something like that. And thank you. This has been Fort Wayne Amazing Race.
Very nice.
Wow.